everyone. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together for about an hour here. And I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way, ask me questions, and just come hang out with me and help me along when I need it. So, all right, you guys, we are continuing on the embroidery of the month. It is this little swan feller here. And this is the finished one. We just started stitching it last night, so this is the second day that we're working on it. Last night we prepped our piece. We got our Selkie stick and stitch sticker. You can kind of see it, that stabilizer that came with the bundle. And we did our first little bit of stitches. I'm hoping we can finish the rest of these light blue stitches for the outside of the swan today. That's kind of a lot, but I think we should be able to get that done if we get cruising on it. So that is the plan for tonight. So this again is from our embroidery of the month. It's a new thing that we're starting at Penguin and Fish. Each month we'll be releasing a new pattern, and it will only be available for the month, and then it will go away. So this month is the Swan embroidery. You can get it as just a digital PDF pattern, or you can get the bundle, and the bundle has the pattern in as well as all the supplies you need for it, and a fun little candle is in there as well. And you'll also get the pre-printed stick and stitch embroidery stabilizer as well. So that's handy. Then you don't have to trace, you don't have to do any of that stuff. You just stick the sticker on and stitch right through it. So I've links to both of those here. Again, if you wanted to start stitching tonight even yet, you can go and get the digital pattern. Check your spam folder if you buy it and can't find the email that it's in. But yeah, that's the quick and fast way. But if you want all the fun stuff, then the bundle is available as well. And I've been shipping it the same days orders come in lately, although Wednesday is probably the last day tomorrow that I can guarantee via USPS that USPS will guarantee it to come in. I'll ship it, and in theory it should get there before Christmas yet, if the postal service does their job. So all right, I'm gonna flip you guys around and we'll get started here. Gotta rely on that post office. That's why my guarantee was in quote marks. In theory, it should be there by then, but All right, so here is where we are. You can see it a little bit more in detail now that we're looking at it. I also have my iPad open right here. This is the pattern, and I just blew it up. This is the stitch and color guide part where it tells me the stitches. I just blew it up so I can look at the colors and check the stitches as I go. So I have that open by me just as an extra little guide. All right, so let's get going on this. I ran out of thread last night, so I need to cut more. I'm just gonna grab another 24 inches or so. Oh, you guys are getting your holiday cards. That's awesome. Yay, I'm happy you're liking it. Again, be sure to check the back of the card. If you didn't check the back of the card, there's something a little extra there on the back. All right, I'm going to grab the 3 strands out of this again. So again, the 6 strands, I'm kind of separating just one, so it's away from all the rest, and we're just going to yank on that. And, it looks like it bunched up like crazy, but then it just all kind of releases. I just run my hand through it again just to line up all the threads again. So let's grab another one. So they're separating another thread, and you can just go zoop. And then we need one more. I'm doing 3 strands. I just like the thickness that gives me. And 3 strands is a lot easier to pull through the fabric than 6 strands. 6 strands can get pretty bulky. Oh, Leslie, I'm glad you like the card too. All right. I am lining up my threads, the ends again here. I will, I always like kind of just clipping the end so I have a nice edges that match all up. That makes it a lot easier for me to thread. So I like threading, again, by the pinching method. So you see it and then you unpinch and then that just a little bit comes out when you unpinch. So as I unpinch, once I see the thread there, the floss, I'm going to get the eye of the needle right over it. Then I can keep pushing the needle down, or needle down a little bit, and then grab those little threads as they come through. I don't have a clue quite yet, Joe. I know what the next embroidery pattern is going to be. I actually just took a bunch of photos for it this evening before coming on here. So I'm getting it prepped. I'm getting it prepped to share. I'm getting it prepped to show you guys on Facebook and stuff. All right, so we didn't do any of these feathers. So instead of continuing this line here, I'm going to weave in my ends here and then jump and start doing these feathers. Again, I'm kind of working from here to there with the blue. Instead of just doing all the outline and then coming back to these feathers, I'm just kind of trying to take care of them as I go, because I think I'll be like jumping around the least amount. So I'm going to finish these feathers, probably try and end up here so I can jump to here and then come back down. And then I'll jump to here and get more feathers and then kind of jump to here. I like kind of planning out, mapping out where I'm going to go next, so I'm not like jumping from here all the way to there or something. That seems like a pretty big leap. So I just try to map it out to get all the spots. So you can do that. All right, so I'm going to weave in the ends in the back right here, and then I'll start with this guy here, the furthest down little feather. So again, I'm going to weave in the back about 3 times. Not about, I am going to do exactly 3 times. It's that third round that kind of locks it in place. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's just get a little bit more slack here so I can show you. So here's my threads. So I've gone through twice now. This is the second pass, right? So if I pull on this, my end will probably still keep going. Yeah, see, so it's not quite secure, right? I'll actually pull it so it's about right there, then I don't have to clip it. But if I do the third backtrack here, and then I pull on it, now it's not going anywhere. So it's that third switchback that makes it so you're not going to be able to pull out that thread. So that's the trick, is the third time around. All right. So I'm going to continue the back stitch on these little feathers. And again, I like rotating my piece. However, it works best where my back hand can feel the stitches going through. So whatever really most comfortable for the back hand is kind of what I end up doing. And I have quite a bit of fabric hanging out here. Usually I like trimming the fabric down a little bit more, so I don't have so much floppy fabric everywhere. But I'm not sure what I'm making out of this. I might make a pillow, and in that case I'll want, if I don't like sew it together, like quilt it together or something, you piece it together. If I don't piece it with other little pieces of fabric, then I might want like the large piece of fabric, or I might make like a little tote bag. I haven't quite decided yet, so I left a bunch of fabric on still. But I suppose I could always like, oops, I got a little knot in here. I could always add fabric to it if I wanted. So this, just to show you guys, this is a really common knot that can happen with embroidery. If you've embroidered, I'm sure you have encountered a knot like this. So it happens just from the thread wrapping around itself and just, getting caught, dragging through. So I think the best way to take care of these is I put the needle in the loop and I pull on either one side or the other, and one side will actually make it tighter. The other side will bring that knot right up to the needle like that. And then you can take the needle out and it should just pop right out. So that is all the time for you, Gretchen. Yeah, that is such a common knot. And I noticed it because I felt it on the back of my left hand here. And it also felt like that I didn't have as much thread as I thought I would be able to pull through. So I'm like, there might be a knot back there. But yeah, so if you get one of those, it took me ages, like a lifetime, to discover that, if I just put the needle in there and pull on it, then it just pops out. And now, I don't even think about it when I get a knot like that. And actually, having my back hand here, kind of like keeping my threads apart as I stitch, and just as like my little secret eyeballs back here, this left hand, that actually has helped curb even getting those in the first place for me. So those two things, they're easy to pull out if you do it like how I just did there, and with the left hand active on the back, then I think you don't get them as much. An accident French knot. Yeah, it's like, it's those horrible knots. See, so if you get a bunch of those on the back, the same thing, like if you start with a knot when you start your thread, those are the things that when you're stitching, loops of thread are going to get caught on in the back, and all of a sudden you've been stitching and you got a whole giant loop of loose fabric back there. Again, that's why I like having my left hand kind of feeling like what's going on here as I stitch, and not trying to like reduce the amount of things that could get caught on back there. Cruising through these feathers. So I could have probably done these feathers with like single chain stitches, so like lazy daisy stitches, but they're a little fatter than that. So I decided to just do it this way with some back stitches. I could show you what that would look like though. Maybe one of these, maybe this one right here, since it's a little skinnier, I'll show you like if you wanted to do it with a single chain stitch, what that would look like. Let's keep cruising on these guys. We will get to that one. Oh yeah, you got your kit, Shirley. Oh yeah, it will. I'm thinking it won't take all that long to catch up. We are not that far yet. But good, I'm glad you got your kit, your bundle. Oh, me too. I love seeing real swans. They're just fun. And I always loved the Ugly Duckling book when I was little and stuff too. I really like that. Oh, I'm glad you guys are liking the card. That was fun for me. I want to try doing that again. It would actually be fun to fill this entire space with some single chain stitches, or like those lazy daisy type stitches. That would be kind of a neat thing to try sometime. I've never done something like that, but like to mimic actual feathers, that would be kind of cool. On another embroidery at some point. Ugh, I just like hearing the thread go through the fabric. Oh, Shirley says the candle smells awesome. Love Swan. Just bought a Swan ornament for your Christmas tree. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, that candle. Ugh, it smells so good. So I have a friend that makes those. Well, just like another woman-owned business owner. She owns Natural Annie's Essentials, and she does those amazing candles with all the fun, cute sayings on it. I thought that one, creating all the things, worked for us here. So that worked out great. Oh, you love yours too, Carol? Yay! Yeah, I mean, it's potent. Like that little candle, it can really put some good smells out there. Like way better smelling and nicer than like, you know, a candle you get at like a big store. I've been having it burning at the office. Oh, I was gonna do this one. Let's do this again. Here, let me undo this stitch. Here, take it off the needle. I was gonna do this stitch as if I was gonna do like a lazy daisy single chain stitch type stitch. I don't have it lit here. I should just light it behind me. That would be a nice thing to do while I'm sitting here. I do have it while I'm working. I have it burning. All right, so this is just like a single chain stitch, but with with an open end here. So I'm coming up on this side, and I'm gonna go down on this side, and I'm holding the thread kind of in the shape of that loop. So here, see that like letter U. Now my thread is in kind of that letter U, and I'm gonna come up at the like farthest point. So just like that, right? And then I'm going to pull, and since I have that thread there, that thread is gonna capture this loop and hold it in place. Like it won't have any farther to go. And I'm not gonna pull really tight because then it will look like a V. If I keep it a little looser, you don't have to have all your stitches be super tight. If I have it a little looser, it's gonna look more like that U shape. And I'm gonna go right on the other side of that, like a couple threads away from the hole that this thread is coming out. And I'm gonna tack down the end with that itty bitty stitch. So just like that. Actually, that's pretty cute. Maybe I'll do the rest of these like that. So that's like a super fast and easy way. You could do that instead of all the back stitches if you wanted. In my original one, I did back stitches, but now I'm kind of like that. So you could give that a try if you like. Like the little the open, like lazy daisy open chain stitch there. All right, that was kind of fun. I think maybe I will do that for the other ones. All right, now I'm hopping back up here on my line here. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, so these are kind of wide U shapes, so remember to like not pull super tight. You do want just like that loose little U. You want it to be lazy. You don't want it to be tight. Someone here, I think, mentioned that once, like for a lazy daisy stitch, you want your loops to just be lazy. I'm like, oh, I like that. I won't pull on them so tightly. I will let them be lazy. So I'm thinking this thread might get me just to here. I got a little bit more. We'll see where we get. Sometimes on these like longer straightaways, like zhoosh, versus like tight curves, I'll make my stitches a little bit bigger. For tight curves, I'll make them smaller just because like the smaller the stitches, the more of that curve you're gonna get versus like just like a letter V or like a notchy sort of shape. I still really like the beady look of the back stitch here. We'll have to do like a little embroidery sampler type deal where we play with a whole pile of stitches one of these times. One of these embroidery of the months, that'd be kind of fun. All right, maybe 3 more stitches. So this is actually another thing. As I approach the end, so I'm right here and I'm kind of approaching the end of a row here, right? So now I gotta make some decisions. I could, like, in my brain, I'm like calculating, should I split this into 2 stitches? So then I'm thinking, okay, that'll give me like 2 kind of large stitches, or will it be prettier if I like divide it into 3? So I'm thinking about, I'm kind of comparing that in my head, like dividing it in 3 compared to like the size of my other stitches versus 2 compared to my other stitches. And I think the 3 is going to be closer to these stitches. So when I get about to here, I'll start making decisions like that in my head. And so I think, based on just checking that out there, I'm going to go for the dividing it into three more stitches. Oh, like a vintagey, like it'd be fun to do like an updated, but still kind of vintagey, but clearly updated in some way, sampler. That'd be kind of fun. It'd be kind of fun to do it with like an alphabet on it and stuff too, like a real sampler. Oh, I kind of like that idea. I'll have to think about designing that. All right, I'm gonna jump up. How much more thread do I have? I think I have enough for those 3 lazy daisy feathers. So sometimes you can kind of see through the fabric. My first stitches or my first feathers are right there. Sometimes if I have like a big leap, that's not quite a big leap. I can get away with just leaping or doing a jump. But sometimes I like to weave in the back of some stitches just to get a little bit closer. Or if I'm like crossing over something, or like, if it's going to be visible from the front, sometimes I'll just zip up the back of, weave in the back before jumping over. So I just did it a little here. All right, let's do that lazy daisy stitch again. So I'm just gonna get comfortable here again. All right, so we're gonna keep that U shape with my thread here. Oh, I might not have quite enough thread. We'll see. All right, and then I'm gonna come up before I pull all that all the way through. Again, I'm coming up at the peak. Right, the way I'm holding this, it's the most point, and then that's going to catch the loop. But I'm not going to pull it tight. I'm going to leave it as that U. It's a little loose, and I'm just going to tack it down by making a tiny little stitch on the other side of the thread there. It's not in the same hole. It's just a tiny, like a millimeter away. So there we go. There's one. Let's see if I have enough thread for these other. See, I'm going to come up right here just because it's close to where it was before. Barely enough thread, maybe. All right. And then up in the middle again there. I like the lazy daisy too. It really is cute, isn't it? I'm glad we're doing a few of them like that. I think it's fine that we did it for some and not for all of them. I think that's totally fine. All right, let's get this last one. Barely enough thread. I need enough thread to weave it in the backs yet too. All right, if you get like this where your U goes away, you can just flop it over your needle afterwards like that. I'm pulling it as tight as I can and keep while I'm still keeping that shape there. All right, tacking it down. That was a fast way of doing it too. Oh, it's cute. They go together. I think that's really sweet. And with you're not even going to notice right away. The backstitch is just like a little beadier, which is kind of cute. It depends what look you're going for, right? But these are really kind of fun, aren't they? Like it would be fun to just fill up this whole space with that. If any of you guys try that, ooh, okay, I just like be sure to share. But I just got a different idea. What if you did like an ombre? Like what if you had like light feathers here like this, and then they get like darker and darker, or maybe they like turn to purple and then to pink as you go up the neck. I don't know, something like that would be really, really kind of cool. All right, so let's weave in the back. So there's not much to weave in here on the back of those lazy daisies, so I'm just going to kind of shimmy back over to the back of these back stitches because that is a lot of stitches that I can go back and forth in. So again, three times. Okay, 2. And 3. All right. Snip that. I can snip it right near the thread there. And that is, I was like checking out the back. No knots on the back still. So there we are. Let's get going again. I'm hoping, gosh, I don't know, but maybe we can get the rest of this with our remaining thread here, but I think it's going to be pretty close. I think we probably will have to get another thread going yet, but I'm hoping we can get this last little stint done tonight. I didn't trim the edges here, so hopefully I can thread it still. Yep, we're good. All right, I'm going to weave in the ends again. I'm going to weave it in right here because I'm going to start right here. So I'll finish this. And then, this is kind of a big leap, but I'm going to just jump right down to there and then stitch back. And I might even be stitching over the back of that loop a little bit. Maybe I'll try to do that on purpose. Then it won't be such a big jump. But yeah, I'll jump down to there and then zoop, go back up around there. So that's, again, I like planning it out a little bit. It's a little extra time too, I suppose, weaving in the ends here, but again, the benefit of not having all these crazy knots on the back. And it's fine. It's quick and easy to do a knot. That's fine. But again, for me, it's just the knowing that my loop of thread while I'm stitching, like this, like if there's a knot right here, it could get stuck on that knot. I would not even know for like 30 minutes, and then I'd flip around to the back and be like, oh my god, I got this giant all loop stuck here from a million stitches ago, and now it's just there, right? And it was all because of having a knot on the back somewhere. So this just completely avoids that situation altogether. Unless you get one of those loopy knots that you miss along the way, but still, not getting caught on it. Everything is awesome. And then you'll notice a lot of times if you're stitching and you have knots on the back, you'll pull up all the little ends, those mini ends. So like if this is the knot, you'll have like all these little fiddly ends pop up to the front. That's pretty annoying too while you're stitching. So this avoids that as well. So give it a try. Let me know if you like it or not. Little extra time and thread on the up front versus all the annoying stuff along the way is my preference. All right, so last little bit of feathers here. One of you said, I forget who, hopefully you're in here, that you're doing a pink swan. I would love to see what that turns out like. So yeah, if you guys are stitching this, be sure to post your progress and what you're working on in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. Love seeing it. Oh, Dawn, you love not having knots. Yep. It's the best. It's just one less thing to have to deal with, and that makes it just that much more relaxing and fun, I think. I was kind of a little off on that stitch, but once we get rid of the fabric or the stick and stitch stabilizer, won't see it anymore. All right, I think this is 2 stitches worth here instead of 1. Thanks, Charlotte. I'm pretty excited about this little guy. Gosh, it'd be fun to, wouldn't it be neat to do, ooh yeah, on a kitchen towel, wouldn't it be neat to do like a set of kitchen towels and then they all have different colored swans, like we could do like a whole rainbow of swans or something swimming around. That would be fun. Or even like a bag where you have a bunch of these on. Oh, I'd love to try different colors. So I think so, Gretchen. I don't have my schedule put together quite yet for traveling for the holidays, but I'll let you guys know. I'm hoping on Monday, so I haven't written the email yet, but on Monday I'm hoping to send you guys an email with kind of the schedule for 2020 starting in January, and I already kind of posted it in the crafters group and Penguin and Fish, but the dates are going to change a little bit because the Orifil block of the month actually starts on the 15th, not the 1st, like how I thought. So I gotta look at I'm gonna switch the weeks that we work on projects a little bit, but I will. I'm gonna put in the calendar of projects with links so you can look into the projects and see if you want to do them or not. And in there, I'll let you guys know when I'll be gone and stuff too for these Facebook Lives. Hopefully I'll have it figured out by then. We'll see how it goes. And, it's weather pending again. We are, all the travel is totally dependent on whatever happens with that. Oh, I know what you're talking about. That works great, especially if you're using 2 threads. I'm using the 3, so it's a little trickier, but I'll have to look into that way of doing it again instead of weaving in the ends. That's actually probably nicer because you don't have the bulk of weaving in the ends. All right, so I'm going to jump now down to here. We'll go upright again. How about that? And I'm going to just kind of hold this line a little bit like here and try and stitch over it a little bit if I can. I'm not going to care about it so much, but if I manage to hold it down a little bit, then that's good. Oh, wind chill of 20 degrees in Atlanta. That's funny. That's not funny, I suppose, if you're there, but 20 would be like a beautiful, beautiful day here right now. And actually, it's been that for the past couple days, just a little bit, but I think it's supposed to get down there again tonight. All right, I'm definitely not going to have enough thread, but by 6 stitches or something, so that's going to be annoying. Oh, God, maybe I can. Nah, I don't think I have enough. I'm doing a little bit bigger stitches, so maybe that will help a little bit. Here's another spot where I want the neck to be in front of that wing, because the neck, you know, in theory, if this was a real life thing, the neck is physically would be in front of the back of that wing there. So I want this stitch to cross over. I don't want to come up in the same hole as the wing. I want it to cover it up. I want to basically cover up that hole. See? Now that stitch is actually physically in front of this wing, which kind of gives it the feel that the whole entire neck is in front. Just an extra little detail that I think helps that effect. I am gonna have like literally 3 stitches left or something. That's how it goes though. I'm trying not to make them so big because they're smaller on this side, so I don't want it to be so different there. So we'll just succumb to that. I'll have to get 3 more stitches in there and just stitch normally, I suppose. And I want to use a little smaller stitches anyway at this point because I'm going around this kind of arc. I want to make sure it feels round. Oh, I might try and just make it there. Weaving with the smallest little thread. I'm going to try and make it. I think maybe 3 more stitches here. Oh, I think we're going to make it. Oh, I love getting lucky like that. And I think I need 2 here, 3 here yet. Just get that final arc. We're totally gonna make it though. Oh, got some fuzzles on me. Okay, yay! Did it. All right, let's weave in that end. Perfect amount of thread left. That worked out great. All right, 1, 2. Oh God, that would have been annoying. But whatever, it happens. Having to get a whole new thread. Okay, let's trim that. There's the back. So this is, again, what the color will feel like a little bit more, because it's right on the white. It's not on top of that Fabrisolvy with the black line, but there we go. It'll be like all beady like this. I do really like the back stitch. I mean, you know, it is kind of neat. Like it looks smoother like this because this is more of like a split stitch or a stem stitch, a little more organic line, which is pretty too actually. But there's something about the back stitch, that beadiness of it, that pearliness of it, that I just feels, it just screams embroidery to me, and I like that. All right, what should we definitely have time yet to do something else. Let's look at the color guide here again. I think, I'm leaning towards that crown, just because it's more back stitching. I would say either the crown or maybe the beak and stuff, but I kind of want to do the crown. Let's do the crown. Oh, that's the only yellow in too. So all right, we get yellow completely done as well. So let's do that. Yeah, let's get a whole other color out of the way. So oh, that's great. So this is actually the end of that blue too. So obviously there's a lot left over. So if you wanted to use 6 strands, there would be enough. If you want to play around a little bit more, there's enough in the bundle to play around. Oh yay, you got a blueberry scissors. Oh yeah, you guys. So I think now there's only like 2 or 3 of those mint scissors left. Like that's it. So that's what that email that I sent out this afternoon. I was doing some inventory and noticed that I'm almost out of those. So if you were wanting one of those mint scissors, I'm actually low on quite a few, but I have the least amount of the mint. All right, so I'm going to just cut all these all at once. It's just easier. So I'm going to cut like the 24 inches or so yet. I probably don't need that much really for the yellow, but you never know. All right, so I'm going to cut all those. I have this for later. Oh, you love your scissors, Gretchen. Awesome. All right, and I'm going to just pull the yellow out of here, and we'll save these colors for later. They're already cut. Oh my god, 50 is 110 degrees Fahrenheit. That's warm. No, that's toasty. Ugh. Oh, you got the cinnamon color. All right. Pulling on that. Let's get 3. Cinnamon would have been a good name for it. Is that the red one? I call that one the poppy colored one, but cinnamon. That would have been a nice name for it too. All right. Got our 3 strands. Let's get those together again. There we go. All right, so I can just weave in the ends on top of in these blue stitches and then go. So I'm going to stitch all I'm going to stitch all of these peaks first. And then I will come back and do these 4 little French knots. And I'm just looking at the design and it's all the same color, so that makes it easy. Don't have to get a whole new color out for those French knots. You could though. That'd be kind of fun. That would be fun to do, like, if you had, like, some metallic scrap thread or something. Oh, this yellow and the blue is so pretty together. Look at those 2 colors together. Ah, just a whole embroidery design with just these colors would be pretty. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw or if you follow any of this, but the color of the year, according to Pantone, is like a really kind of deep royal type blue. I'm sure they've named it, but it's like a royal dark blue. That with these 2 colors would be very, very pretty. Let's see, do I have anything that color? Kind of like this color. This color with these 2 colors would be really, really pretty together. It's, I think, a little lighter than this, maybe a hair less purple, but it's about like that. It's a really pretty blue. I'm going to trim those couple little ends there. Yeah, like a classic blue. Exactly, Lucy. Is that what they've called it? It is. It really is just like a classic blue. All right, what side of that crown am I on? I'm on the left side. You love any blue? Yeah, I like the blues as well. All right, let's do the back stitch up on this again. So now normally I would have liked to do this crown first because, like I said, I like stitching the things that are behind first. because I want these stitches to look like it's on top of the crown. So I'm going to actually tuck my needle underneath this stitch and get in right there. Oops, geez, sorry. So it looks like, so it still looks like this yellow stitch is going to be behind that blue stitch. A little finicky doing that, but again, I just like that effect. So there we go. So now it looks like it's behind. It's not split or anything like that. All right, I'm going to divide this into 3. We'll do 3 stitches. Oh, Pantone's the company that names it. Pantone, if you guys don't know, it's a company that's big in like the graphic design. Oh, it is kind of like Facebook Blue a little bit. It's a little darker maybe, but Pantone puts out these books of color basically, and the purpose of them is to help designers tell printers exactly what color the printer should print. So like a big printer, like on the big press with tons of people working the printer, those kind of printers. Like if you want a color, like let's say Facebook, for example, if that Facebook blue is just a tiny hair off on any of their printed material, then you're going to know instantly, right? Because you're so used to that color. Or, I don't know, like Wendy's red or something. If that was off, then you would know. I can't think of a brand, like a printed brand right now that has a, with a color. But anyway, so companies and designers know, like, okay, that is specifically Pantone 3478 blue or whatever. You know what I mean? So exactly. The printer knows exactly what dyes to put together to create that color, and it comes out exact. So that's the point of these, the Pantone color matching systems. And oh god, if you're a designer, you have to have these books, and they are like the most expensive things ever because each color has to be printed in there. So it has to be a massive undertaking to make them. But anyway, so that is their purpose. Pantone, the company, but just for funsies, they started declaring a color of the year a bunch of years ago, and now everyone looks to see what that color is. So soon you'll probably see pillows that have that color and other housewares, or maybe paint companies will start advertising their pretty blue colors, and you'll start seeing magazines, like home magazines, decorating with that color and what goes well with this color. So this Pantone color of the year, they have like taken over like the trends. And I mean, they're not just making it up, right? Either like they're looking at fashion and all that stuff to pick the color. They're seeing what's out there and what the deal is too. So, but anyway, that's the whole Pantone. If you hear people say Pantone color of the year, that's what Pantone, the company, is, and this fun little thing that they do every year. Oh yeah, it is like a formula. It actually is. I mean, it's a color code, like it's a number, so you can tell the printer you want that number. But they actually have a formula, and it actually says it right on there, I believe, in those books. Like you need X amount of black and X amount of whatever, however it's done. But so it is like a formula. It's like a recipe for a very particular color. Oh, Leslie and me too, for sure. It would be fun to work there, I agree. You get really good at seeing just hairs of difference in color for sure. Like, oh, that blue has just, a tiny, tiny tinge more of purple in, and this blue has a little bit more green in, and, it's crazy. But yeah, like determining new trends in color, and it's a whole other world that, you know, you might not even know exists. It's one of those like subtle little like worlds that just defines us. Yeah, exactly. So the color can't be any color on the computer. You're never going to know for sure either. That's again why designers have these books that are printed. Um, because if you're going to end up with a printed thing, like if you're designing for the computer and it's going to stay on the computer, I mean, you're never going to know because people's monitors change slightly, so that color's never going to be perfect. But if your final intention is to like print something out, like a box or something for a company or whatever, and it needs to be a perfect color, you're never going to know that just by looking at your computer monitor if you got close enough. You're going to have to open up your books, see your Pantone books, see what color they told you that needs to be, and then you're going to use the code that they have on there to use on your thing so that it all matches up once it goes to the printer. It's kind of a crazy industry. Dawn, yep, I think that's the case. And, you know, and the designers in the fashion industry, I mean, they're looking at art, they're looking at everything around, they're taking, you know, it's evolutionary, right? So, like, if one color is feeling kind of oldish, then that will kind of fade away until they find some new color combo that they like. And, you know, it's all kind of starts in that art world and fashion world, I think. All right, so we got our little French knots up here. So how I like doing French knots is I come on one side of the circle. Sometimes it'll just be like a little dot, so I'll go on one side of the dot. I always kind of start on the bottom right-hand corner for some reason, but like that. And then I like setting it down on a flat surface. I think it's easier because I will hold, with my left hand, I will hold my thread up off of the fabric there, and then I'm going to point my needle away from the fabric as well. I'm not going to point it towards, so here I would be pointing it towards. I want to point it away, and then I'm going to wrap it around twice, like that. So I'm just holding this kind of taut and going around twice. And I'm going to hold those two little loops with my finger, so that's not going to go away now. So now, with me holding those two loops, I'm going to like rotate the needle. I'm going to point it towards the fabric now. I was pointing away, now I'm going to point it towards. And I'm going to put the needle in on the other side of that dot. So I started at the bottom right, I'm going to go to the upper left. And I'm going to just go put the needle in halfway. So it's just in a little bit there. Once it's in halfway, I'm going to let go of those two loops. I'm still holding onto the needle. I'm going to pull my thread so those loops kind of tighten up and they rest on the fabric surface there. So you can see those knots, those loops are right on the surface. I'm going to hold those loops down with a finger. In this case, I'm doing my thumb. And I am going to pull my thread through slowly while I'm still holding those loops so they don't get out of control. And there we go. We got our perfect little French knot there. So all right, I'm going to keep going. We'll do 3 more here. And I think we will call it a night after this little crown is done. So we will be completely done with this yellow color as well. So that's exciting. All right. And last one here. I love these little dots.
So I think tomorrow, like I want to kind of just finish the swan part. Like it would just irk me if I started working on this stuff without just finishing up his little face there. So I think we'll work on his face tomorrow to start out with. I think we'll get done pretty quickly. But that's going to be satin stitched and then a little French knot at the eyeball there. And then we'll move on to the surrounding stuff. So cute. There we go. All right, let's flip it around. Oh gosh, the colors are just so pretty. I love that blue and yellow together. And I'm just gonna weave in the ends. I'm just crisscrossing this whole top of the crown here, grabbing as many threads as I can. Oh, that just made me think. I went like this and pushed the threads through it. It made me think about my thimble. I didn't get my thimbles like on the way here yet from Australia, and I'm just itching to play with it. Yes, our regal swan. All right, you guys. So there we are. Again, this is that stick and stitch. That's that sticker. That will come off later, but we were able to print right onto it. Oh, the bundle does come with it pre-printed as well. But there we go, little swan. Okay, I'm really liking him. And I think it'll just, here's the finished one again. Just, here's what we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll be doing the little stitches for the satin stitches for the beak and his little face there, little knot. And that just really finishes him off, I think. Just that bright little bit of orange and that little bit of black. I think that'll be fun. Yay! All right. Yes. Okay, so we got a little farther than I thought we were going to tonight. We got the crown done. I thought we would just barely finish this outline, but yeah, we are done. This is actually probably the bulk of the work. The rest of this, I think, is going to go pretty speedy. So maybe we'll get done even sooner. Oh, it's Wednesday already. I'm still hoping to finish this around Thursday. Gosh, maybe we'll even get really close tomorrow. That would be cool, because I would like to take this Fabricelli off yet. Show you how to do that. And then, I don't know. We'll have to decide how we want to finish this yet. All right, I'm going to flip you guys around. Hello. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, he's coming together. Oh, I like him. All right, that little crown is fun. I do like that. So awesome, you guys. So be sure to share your progress in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. I'd love to see how it's going, especially if you ended up using different colors. That's always just really neat to see how other people interpret stuff. But yeah, I'd love to see it there. So if you're not part of that group, be sure to just click join. It takes me, I have an hour or so to let you guys in. And yeah, if you want to get going with us during the evenings here yet, the PDF pattern is available. That comes to you instantly after you purchase it, and it's in an email. And then I do have the bundle with all the stuff in. The bundle will be available till the end, either till I run out or till the end of the month. Both are coming up quick, both me running out and the end of the month. So after that, it's gone. So if you did want that cute little candle or, with the bundle or these supplies, then, just remember, especially with the holidays coming up, you might forget that it's the end of the month. It'll come down on the 31st, and then a whole new design will go up on the 1st of January, and I'm really excited about that one. So, all right, you guys, thanks again for joining me here. I will catch you again tomorrow. Good night.